Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Scaling Smarter. My name is Ali Taylor from Wisdom and Wayfinder, and I'm here with my co-host Frank Majorana from Just Works. How's it going, Frank?
It's going great. It's going great, Ali. How you doing?
What's that?
How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Had a great weekend. Went to the beach, got to relax for a little bit, and now here we are, the fresh beginning of a new week, and I'm excited for our guest today.
Yes,
And so, Frank, since you know Dr. George, why don't you go ahead and introduce him and invite him for the first question?
absolutely, absolutely. So, everyone, Dr. George is joining us today. He has he's an entrepreneur. He owns a couple of different businesses. Has a wonderful story on how he became a chiropractor and kind of what drove him into that. And can't wait to hear about that. Also know Dr. George from our Be Sure networking group that David Facone, who was on a couple weeks back, who runs that. So, looking forward to hearing Dr. George's story. And Dr. George, would you mind just kind of saying who you are and what you do?
Yeah, of course, guys. How are you? I'm Dr. Jorge De La Torre. I am a chiropractor in the northern New Jersey area. I've been in practice for about 15 years. Um,
Nice.
Born and raised in northern New Jersey. So I spent most of my time here except for my undergrad. Some of it was in Miami and finished
Ooh,
up in New
nice.
Jersey. Yeah. And then went to chiropractic school in Atlanta, Georgia. But most of my time I've been in New Jersey, where
So,
I was born and raised.
dude,
Nice.
so Dr. George, like we always talk about like the journey of an entrepreneur and
Mhm.
how you decide to hang your own shingle and kind of bet on yourself. And well, in our pre-call conversation, you kind of talked a little bit about chiropractic field seemed to be like a calling.
Yeah.
So you just want to kind of share a little bit of that story for us?
Absolutely. I'll give you the beginning. So from the beginning, my dad was also an entrepreneur. He was a teacher by profession, but he also owned a cleaning business. He did taxes. So entrepreneurship
Oh
was
wow.
in my family or in my immediate family. And then going back to my dad, so he was in a car accident when I may be 12 or 13. I forget how old I was. And had to go to a chiropractor for his injuries. And I went with him and I just fell in love with the idea of chiropractic. The guy that was treating my dad, don't remember his name right now. I was a doctor in Clifton, chiropractor in Clifton. I thought he was the coolest guy ever. I'm like, hey man, I want to do what you do. And then he's just started explaining everything, what chiropractic really is, how it helps your body heal. And I always knew I wanted to be a doctor. I just didn't know what type of doctor I wanted to do, and I felt like chiropractic was something that resonated, uh, fell into my lap, and I took it and ran with it. Um, and throughout life, the word I was like resonated with me. So I felt like it was in my life. I went to high school. I played soccer, wrestled. During the injuries, I went to a chiropractor as well. And then my senior year, junior, I forget what year it was, I dated a girl whose dad was a chiropractor. So I felt like
Nice.
he was calling me then. So it just kept on, chiropractic just kept on popping in my life. And then during undergrad, when I was doing undergrad, one of my friends asked if I wanted to work at a chiropractic office. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So again, it just kept on popping into my life. And then I took God's sign and I said, hey, this is what I want to do. So after undergrad, I went to chiropractic school.
So what do you enjoy most about it?
Helping people feel better. I get to see people coming in pain, and then they leave with a smile on their face. That's something that really touches my heart, and I'm glad I'm able to help people get out of pain.
Yeah.
It's impacting people on a real level, right? There's
Absolutely.
nothing
If you ever
more
been in
important.
pain, you would know it's not fun. Yeah, it's not. It's
No.
not a good. You're cranky. You're irritable, and you want the pain to go away as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to help people get out of pain.
No.
Yeah. I might have to come see you because I have a persistent like pain
Yeah,
with my clavicle, my shoulders, or whatever is going on here. I haven't been able to figure it out. But yeah, there are those days where the pain is almost unbearable, and then other days where you don't really feel it at all. And so, I'm
So
sure.
that's funny that you say that, Ali. Every time I go to a networking meeting, that's the first thing people say. Oh, I need to come see you. It's either my neck or my back. Yeah, come on. So everyone.
Well, what you should do is go to networking. You go networking event with a portable table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have your have whatever invoice machine, whatever you need right there. Like, we can take care of this right now.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
When I was younger, I was willing to do that. I'm a little older. I'll wait for you in my office.
Yeah, yeah. You got to come see him. That's the way it works.
Exactly. But you're right. It's no one wants to ever be in pain. So it's something I love to do.
So, Dr. George, talk a little bit about the career now. So you decided to become a chiropractor. How did you go from obviously probably working in someone's office to
Correct. So when I first started my career, I worked for several doctors. I just wanted to get an idea of what type of office I wanted to have. So I worked in different types of offices, wellness practices, injury practices, sports injury practices. So I came up with an idea. I wanted to mix a little bit of all. So I started my practice maybe, what was it? My son's 12 years ago.
You started when you first had your kid?
My son was a year old when I opened up my practice.
All right.
We definitely got to come back to that. What that was like.
Absolutely. So I opened up my first practice, and obviously it was empty. So I thought to myself, well, how am I going to fill this up? So I just started knocking on everyone's door, orthopedic surgeons, lawyers, everybody, friends, everyone. I spoke to everybody, anyone that wanted to listen to me, I spoke to. And then little by little, I started developing relationships with orthopedic surgeons, spine surgeons, neurosurgeons, primary care doctors, also attorneys. So anyone that wanted to have a relationship with it, I was willing to do anything that you wanted me to do. I would work late. If you needed to see a patient at 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, I would do it. If you needed me coming early, 6 o'clock in the morning, I would do it. So anything that helped me grow my practice, I did. And the biggest thing that helped me grow my practice was relationships with solid orthopedic surgeons, people who, again, wanted to work with me and not have it a one-way street. It was always a two-way street. And that's how we develop our relationships. And I still have a small circle of people that I work with. And that has helped me grow and expand to different offices.
And Dr. George, I know your specialty is a little bit in, I believe you said car accidents.
Correct.
Right? You said injuries. So, what made you, as you talked about, like, do a sport? I know you treat sports injuries, you treat anything, but you tend to kind of do a lot with car accidents. What kind of drove you to kind of go in that direction, or did your business just naturally?
Naturally went into that direction. But the reason why I really love it is a lot of people who have been in car accidents don't think they're injured. It could be a fender bender. There's no damage in my car. The guy just hit me at 5 miles per hour. But your body's injured at 2.5 miles per hour. Just think, it's just physics. So that solid vehicle that hits you, that force is transferred into the object that's in the car. Like if there's a water bottle, that water bottle will go flying forward. But you can't go flying forward because you're strapped in by a seatbelt. So but that force is transferred into your body, tearing and spraining muscles and ligaments. So people just brush it off. Hey, I feel okay after the accident. It's not until a year later, 2 years later, like, oh, my neck hurts. I wonder what I did. You wake up all sore, and it's from the accident you had a year ago that your body couldn't recover by itself without our assistance. That's kind of pushed me into that. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people realize you're injured after a car accident. It doesn't matter how small it is, you are injured after a car accident.
Yeah. Is that something that you saw with your dad when you were 12, when he got into an accident?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw him. He was an active guy, and now obviously after a car accident, he hurt his back, and then it kind of his active lifestyle changed. He no longer, he was playing soccer at the time. He no longer played soccer just due to the injury. So he kind of changed. So I kind of derailed his life. So he was heading in one direction. And that's another thing too. Accidents derail your life. You're heading in one direction. Now you're injured. Now you got to learn how to live a different direction.
Yeah.
And that's something that's important for me
Yeah.
to help people get into their new lifestyle.
Yeah. And also hopefully helping them get back to close to where they were, right?
As close as possible. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you lose something, you suddenly understand its value, right?
Absolutely.
So when you lose your mobility or your ability to do anything, and you're like, oh my God, I wish. But when you're healthy, we all take it
for granted. Absolutely.
For granted, 100%.
I did that with my eyes. I can't see anything now. and 5-6 years ago, I used to be able to see everything really easily. Like I took it for granted.
Age, you're getting old, Frank. It's what happens.
No, stop! Don't say that. Don't say that. Please. So, all right. So you opened up your own practice. You kind of talked about growing it a little bit through referral.
Yeah.
What has been like the biggest surprise, like from when you opened day one, even up until now? Like, what was the one thing that took you completely, by the side,
So when coming out of school, you're going to help the world. You're going to open the doors, and everyone's just going to fly into your office. Is what you think. So it's not what happens. You'll be waiting there for a long time for people to fly into your office. So that was the biggest eye opener. And I learned really quick that's not going to happen. I went out there. I had to go out there and find people who wanted to listen to me and people who wanted to meet me. So that was the biggest change. And then just continue meeting great people as the weeks and months go by. I networking events. I meet new people. I meet great people, great referral sources, just like yourself, Frank, at our 𝗶𝗀 group. I'm part of 𝗶𝗀, part of BNI. My associates are a part of 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀. So I've grown my practice with different associates as well, and they've also helped me out. And I have to give my hat off to my team. If I didn't have a solid team or the team I have, it would be a lot harder on me to scale as quick and scale at all, because I can't be in multiple places at one time.
Yeah. Well, can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, because I know that's definitely one of the first big decisions when you first go out on your own as a business owner and entrepreneur, is that first hire that you're going to make. Can you walk us through what that process was like for you, and then being able to grow that to now 4 locations that you have?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. The first hire was a person I've already worked with. She's my office manager. I worked with her in a previous stint with a business partner I had, and we worked well together. So she was the first person I hired, and then we just took off from that. The next person I hired was an associate, a chiropractic associate, who's also been amazing through this whole process. And then we just kept on bringing on people, some quality people who resonate with us, who have our similar values, who are just willing to learn, and I'm willing to learn from them. I don't know it all. That's another reason why I'm an open book. If you want to teach me something, I'm happy to learn something new every day. So, and we have, I like to call it a nice close knit family within my practice. I didn't want to ever be a corporate office. I've always wanted to be like a mom and pop shop, and that's kind of what I think I have currently.
Yeah.
So during that hiring process, right? Because it sounds like you have a great team that are close. But like every business you've been around, there's going to be some misses on hires sometimes.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, yes.
So, how have you adjusted a little bit of your criteria on how you decide who to bring in and who not to bring in from back in the day to now?
Yeah, well, you don't know until you know. You can't really tell a person's work ethic or anything until you put them in, you throw them in the water Are they going to sink or swim? So pretty much it's hard. Everyone can put a facade on an interview, and then you don't really find out who the real person is until you get to work with them and you get to see their work ethic and their work style. So there's no wrong or right. It's just, hey, you learn as you go. You learn the person as the situation unfolds.
Ali?
Yeah, no, am I still here? Okay. Sorry, I can cut this part out.
I wish there was an answer to how I can get. I'm dealing with that right now. I'm looking for a doctor right now, and it's difficult. It's difficult to interview, and it's you think you find somebody, and then you hire them. You talk about salary, and then Monday comes and they don't show up.
Yeah,
and they ghost you. It's it's like dating again.
Is it me?
Is it me? What did I say? What did I do?
No,
it's funny.
And it's tough out there because Ali and I talk about this all the time.
And these are professionals. We're talking about professionals. We're not talking about high school people that are going to work. These are professionals with doctorate degrees that are going to ghost you. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and finding, and it's you talked about honesty right during the interview process. Where you ask those questions like, where else are you interviewing? Are you looking at other, like you start talking about the other opportunities that are going on, and sometimes people aren't forthright about kind of where you are because they want as much security in the
Absolutely.
answer.
That's right. Well, I understand that, but be honest. You gotta be honest.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Any so when you have a new hire, right, or you have someone that's working out, what are some of the things that some of your really good employees, some attributes of your really good employees have that you're looking for?
Absolutely. Trainable is the number one thing. They need to be. They need to be willing to learn something new. Again, I don't know everything, but I surround myself with people that do know most things. I have a mentor who has helped me train my staff. Once I know they're going to stay for a while, I'll pay for their training. So nice. he trains them. They go through a schooling, not really a schooling, online learning on how to treat patients who have been involved in a car accident or sports trauma. So it's all dedicated to trauma. Basically, you get a certification, trauma-based certification. So you learn how to treat that. You know how to. I learn a bunch of things that we need within our office. Yeah. So, but once I know that person's going to stay, because it's an investment on my part.
Of course.
So that's what.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. But to get to that point, it takes a few.
It takes time, right? It takes, and you have to, and probably, you want to make sure when they're showing up, right?
They're going to stay. Well,
So from a business owner's lens, like we kind of talked about this, like when you first take the bet on yourself and you open up a business, like that's the first step, right? Like that's the first time, like, all right, I'm betting on me. And then you recently, started a new company or bought a new company, which you took a chance on. So talk a little bit about that.
So I wanted to, I guess, diversify besides having. So I currently have 4 chiropractic offices. I had a previous business partner, and we also had 4 practices, but we split up, and then I opened up 4 more. And then I was thinking about, I need to diversify. What can I do besides chiropractic? So I came across an old friend of mine who does my printing. And then he came across a printing company that was for sale, and he asked me if I wanted to join the venture with him. I said, yeah, absolutely. I've been looking to diversify. So why not? Let's go into printing. So we purchased a printing and promotional products company. So nice. That's something, and that's new right now. So we're looking to get that up and running.
Were you nervous?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's an investment, another investment. And so I didn't know anything about it, but he knows a ton about it because he's my printer. He does my shirts. He does my promotional products. So I trust him with it. So I was hesitant at first because of the investment, but hey, I have total faith in him.
Yeah. I'm noticing a theme with you is that you're willing to invest in people that have proven themselves, that that share your values, and are willing to put in the work. And I'm hearing that across like the employees that you work with, but also like the partners that you team up with in terms of just offering additional care alongside the chiropractic care that you do, and then also this business as well. Yeah. How do you? Because I know a lot of people would like to do the same thing. They would like to be able to do that, like diversification. Like, so I know you didn't know anything about the business, but you trusted the person that you were investing in, right? You're more investing in the person, not necessarily just the business. Can you give any insight or I guess advice for someone who's looking to diversify but trying to figure out like how or when to do that?
Absolutely. So I'll go back and tell you a story about my old business partner. So I got burned in that situation. So I learned from that. I don't really regret it because you take a life lesson out of it. And then moving forward, I need to moving forward, I need to trust the person I'm going to do business with and trust them in different ways. Their family values, their business values, their how do they speak to people? Everything needs to flow into what my or resonate with my lifestyle. And that's kind of how I make the decision whether I'm going to go forward with it or not. Because again, my old business partner, we were two opposite people. And I just thought it was going to work, but it's like being in a relationship or married to a person that it's not going to work, but you're trying to force it to work. It's never a good ending. So kind of the same thing with the business.
Is there anything structurally is there anything like other than waving a magic wand and not going into that relationship? Is there anything you would have done from the beginning to protect yourself a little bit better?
I probably would have started asking more questions or vetting that person a little bit more instead of just taking their word for it. I was young and naive, and I trusted him. I trusted the person. So I'm less naive now, I can say. So yeah, that's one takeaway I'll take from that situation.
Yeah.
It's funny. We had Faye Zaskell from Greenbaum on a bunch of months back, and she's a corporate attorney. And one of the things we were talking about were operational agreements, right? And foundational agreements. And the fact is, like, you draft those types of things when everything is good, right? Because you draft them when everyone is excited about starting a new venture, excited about going in, because this way, when the breakup does come, or when questions or problems do come, you start you start having some clarity on that. But unfortunately, in those agreements, there isn't a way to verify, is what he's telling me true, or is what he's sharing with me solid, or what his intentions are true. You can get them in paper, get them in writing, but it's tough.
Absolutely. Some people have a good way to hide.
Unfortunately, and that it comes back to, like, what I love about your one, I love your industry. I love kind of what you do and helping people. I think that's phenomenal, right? But what it comes down to is, like, the way you've grown your business is through relationships and through quality relationships. And I think that's something that a lot of small business owners could learn from, right? Because they'll open up shop and they're really good at whatever they may do, and they have a current book of business from clients. But then beyond that, they don't necessarily know how to, generate a relationship with a Dr. George, generate a relationship with an Ali or an attorney or who it may be, to try to actually grow their business. Yeah. Did you use any type of? It sounds like it was just more organic than anything else. But was there any intentional piece in your networking and in your relationship building to help grow the business?
Well, the intention was always you need to help somebody else in order for them to want to help you. So it's never like, what can you do for me? It's always like, hey, how can I help you? What do I need? What do you need to be successful? Let me see if I can provide that for you. And then and in turn, they're going to want to help you. It's not like you're not going to ask for the help. They're going to be like, oh, this guy has helped me. He's a solid dude. You know what? Let me see if I can help him. So that's kind of how my approach to networking or meeting new people.
Yeah, it's a law of reciprocity, right? Wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the other thing is that like accidents, car accidents, injuries, pain, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't categorize or sort. It doesn't matter how much money you make, what industry you're in. Everybody goes through some sort of pain or issue, and so I think that's one of the really good things about your industry and just the kind of people that you get to meet.
Yeah, we all have a body. We're all going against gravity, so. You're right. It's not discriminatory. You're gonna feel the aches and pains as you get older, as you're active. We're here to put you back together. That's what our motto is: getting you out of pain and back in the game is what.
Yeah. So what's just curious? What's the recommendation from a person that typically feels healthy, like to actually go see a chiropractor? Right.
On a typically healthy person, I usually say once a month, and if you're feeling good. Every month for about 3 months straight, I'll push it to every other month. So it all depends on how that person feels. Everyone's body is different. I might heal a lot slower than Ali. Ali might heal faster than you, Frank. So everyone's body is different. So I have to do an examination, and then we'll come up with a plan.
Yeah, and I assume doing that preventative work. Helps alleviate trouble down the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd rather go see you because I'm choosing to, as going to see you because I have to, right? Yeah. Two different things.
Yeah. Well, I think that same thought process applies to building relationships as well. Like you want to build the relationships before you need them.
Yeah.
Correct. 100%.
That's what. You want to have that person, that go-to person, before you actually.
You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on the end of our conversation, but with that, we always ask a couple of the same things. One is, and you covered it a little bit before. One piece is going to be, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to, let's say, a chiropractor that's going to be opening up his first practice, and then after that, where can we find you, and what's the best way to come see you?
Absolutely. So my advice to a young chiropractor coming out of school would be meet as many people as you can before you open your doors. So when you open your doors, you hit the ground running. You're not sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting for people to come in. So meet as many people as you can within your surroundings, within your community, join a networking group, meet as many people as you can. And then location, we have 4 beautiful locations: 𝗁𝗶𝘀, Hackensack, West New York, and Newark. We provide chiropractic physical therapy services. We specialize in car accidents, as we spoke about, sports injuries, and then general family wellness.
Awesome.
And then online?
Sorry, we provide chiropractic and physical therapy care. I'm not sure if I said that.
And then what about online? Do you have any social channels that we can follow, absolutely, that we can share for you?
Absolutely. So the practice is called New Jersey Pain and Injury Center. You can follow us on Instagram at New Jersey Injury Centers or on Facebook at New Jersey Injury Centers.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, and I'm sorry. One more question before we go.
Yeah,
I said that I wanted to come back to it. So you said that you opened your business like at the same time that your son was born. Can you just walk us through what that was like? And was this your first kid?
My first son, yeah.
Okay, so new business, new dad.
Yeah.
Give us the picture.
It was nothing but motivation. He motivated me to get it done. So that's kind of, I didn't plan it. It just happened that way. I saw an opportunity. I was looking for space for about a year to see where I could open up. And my first office was in 𝗁𝗶𝘀. And I was walking up and down the boulevard and I'm like, hey, I need to find a spot. And then magically a spot opened up and I took it, and my son turned 1 at that time. So it was I don't know, it was something that And I'm glad it happened that way because he did motivate me to get it up and running as soon as possible because I needed to provide for myself and him.
Yeah. When the bridge is burned, there's no choice but to go forward, right?
Burn the boats. Burn the boats.
Burn the boats.
Absolutely. So it's the rest is history, as they say.
So true. Well, I've loved getting to know you over the past couple of years, and had a chance to go to your facility a couple of times.
Thank you.
Strongly recommend to anybody that's out there that needs chiropractic care, go see Dr. George. He's the absolute best. And thank you so much for spending your time with us.
I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, everyone, we will see you in our next episode. And thank you, as always, for joining us. Please make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Scaling Smarter Show, or you can just go to Scaling Smarter Show, which is our new website. So you can see all of the places that we are at and catch some of our past guests and videos. So thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a blast. Thank you.